So really enjoyed the event so far. And just also want to thank Umbraco for their hospitality. They're just a great bunch of people to work with. Very down to earth, humble individuals. And those are the type of people, as a partner, we want to engage with and bring more business. So thanks to all of you. So remember when it was enough just to have a cool website? I remember the days of just clients coming to me saying, hey, just throw something up. You go into Dreamweaver, spit something out, they got a web presence. Now, customers want so much more. They're digesting content through so many devices in so many different ways. So you need much more than a good design to really, truly engage the visitors. And if you don't, you're going to be left behind. So that's why we love Umbraco, specifically Umbraco Cloud, because we really feel that it's transforming content management for our clients. Actually, is it? Okay. So today's agenda, I think it's really important, and I want to apologize to the people that heard me talk yesterday. It'll be a lot of duplicate content starting off. But those that you don't know me, don't know BlueModus, it's really important to understand who we are and what we do. And it'll help you understand, why Umbraco is a go-to product for us, specifically Umbraco Cloud. So I'm going to cover things like that, but also talk about a reference project, specifically FFA. It's not Future Farmers of America. It's Fund Finance Association. It's a small financial association. I want to talk a little bit about where they were from a digital perspective, where they were looking to go, and why BlueModus leveraged Umbraco Cloud as a preferred solution. And then discuss some successes FFA had. So a lot of you may be thinking, who's this Brad guy, who's BlueModus? So I'm going to start off with myself. As Karen mentioned, I have over 2 decades of experience in the industry. Started as a developer, transitioned to more of a strategy role at BlueModus about 8 years ago. As the VP of strategy, my main focus is net new business. So talking to prospects, understanding their current pain points, where they're looking to go from a digital perspective, and really being a listener. I always say if I talk more than 5 minutes on an intro call, I lost the business. So really trying to understand their pain points from not only an organizational standpoint, but personal pain points in their role, and really understanding who I'm talking to, the buyer personas, and ultimately delivering solutions that will help them catapult to where they need to be from a digital perspective. From a BlueModus perspective, we've been 22 years in business. We're a .NET focused agency. You see a lot of the platforms that we support to the right. But our mission really aligns nicely with Umbraco. Hearing Kim talk earlier today, where Umbraco's mission is aligning partners like us to be successful. Well, that's our goal with our clients, really aligning, empowering our clients to really achieve what they need to achieve from a digital perspective, and empowering them to do the most that they can do with their platform, and then leveraging someone like a BlueModus in the areas that they can't get to and don't have the expertise. The last thing we want to do is handcuff someone to a platform or handcuff someone to a relationship. Our goal is to empower individuals. So we have 143 US-based colleagues. About 5-6 years ago, we were around 30 to 35, so we've seen a lot of growth over the years, but we really plateaued, and we kind of had a defining moment. And when I heard Tabitha talk about, I think it was the second of the 3 things she was talking about, tune into what energizes you the most. Us as an organization, what energizes us the most is client success. And we stepped back, looked at our organization, how we're structured, and that's what was, causing us to plateau. We weren't structured in a way to really deliver services to have our clients truly engage with us. It was more, we were very project focused. Hey, let's build a site, let it go, and we're here if you need to upgrade. So we completely shifted focus. And what we did is we divided our teams. We decided to divide our teams into what we call divisions. Each division is led by a managing director. Underneath that managing director is what I call our three-legged stool, where we have a dedicated PM, a dedicated solution lead, which is a senior level architect, and a dedicated strategic director, which is an expert in the .NET platforms. Listed specifically, Umbraco Cloud really understands the roadmap, where they're going, and ultimately transitions that to the client in a way that they can leverage the platform to catapult them to the next step in their digital experience. In each of those divisions, we have shared resources. So like front-end developers, creative, back-end application developers, some DevOps and QA, to really handle any task as it relates to a digital experience. And that was important to us, going back to what energizes us as client success. We can't expect our employees to do everything. So we really wanted to create a team that can adapt to our clients' needs, and each client is different. Clients may be very design focused or very developer focused, and we want to supplement the areas that they just don't have the expertise. So we bring in the resources to achieve that and build a team that's structured to deliver what our clients truly need. So on to our client. This is actually our first Umbraco Cloud implementation. So I'm excited to kind of talk about it. And we have someone here from BlueModus, Jen Wolke, who actually was the solution lead on the project. And I'm sure, she'd be happy to talk through anything in the breaks or anything like that. If anyone has any questions, wants me to dive deeper into things, I love to schedule Zoom conferences. If I could walk through anything, reference projects, go over something specific about Fund Finance Association or anything Umbraco based, I'd love to do it. Our goal as an Umbraco partner is to not only empower our clients, but empower other partners as well, because we want good code out there because it helps everyone. And at the end of the day, there's enough business for everyone out there. So we want to empower people to do their best and ultimately have happy clients. So specifically with FFA, they had a lot of frustrations when they came to us. They had no freedom. They were too dependent on their partner. When I say no freedom, very limited content management functionality. They're an event-driven organization. So they have a lot of speakers, they have a lot of sponsors, events that need on their site, and the last thing you want every time something changes is to contact your partner to make a change. Specifically during events, if there's a speaker shift or a topic shift, the last thing they want to do is open up a ticket and pay $400 or $500 for a change when you should very well be able to go in and manage that type of content on your own. So that was a big frustration of theirs. Another one is an unreliable website and partner. They had, and also an unsecure CMS and hosting. I think those two go together because they were on another open source platform that was very unsecure. They were out of date in a lot of the technology that the open source platform used. The hosting was on some, gosh, I've never even heard of it, and I've been in this business for 20 plus years. And just the partner's response time is very unreliable. They couldn't count on them in a pinch to get things up. So that in turn really shifted them to look at another partner. But unfortunately, when they wanted to make a shift, it was 60 days before their primary event. So it was a tall task for us to really take on this tight timeline and this engagement. Even it was a basic site, but a 30-day timeline to launch something before their cornerstone event was a lot of pressure. So it really made us think about what platform. There's a lot of platforms that we could use, but what is a platform that can position us for success, have a quick spin up, something that can scale with the company's growth, and it was a no-brainer that Umbraco was an all-in-one CMS solution that they needed. So some of the things that, when I was talking to the client, when we were talking to the client, that really sold them on Umbraco Cloud was the flexibility, the speed, and it fit their budget. And what I mean about flexibility is just a one-stop shop. This was a sell because their old partner sold themselves as a one-stop shop, and they were open source. So it was an uphill climb to really convince them that, hey, one, BlueModus is different, and two, Umbraco is different. So really highlighting the flexibilities that both of us provided, but combined was that all-in-one solution that they needed. Because they wanted a partner they could count on, but also a platform that was flexible enough to give them the freedom to achieve what they needed to from a content administrator perspective. And also, too, when they were looking at platforms, they were considering headless as well. So the flexibility of Umbraco Cloud to go headless with hardcore without a complete rebuild was, their ears perked up about that. So that's something that is a long-term goal of theirs, that this short-term, or not short-term, this foundational product, Umbraco Cloud, can really catapult them in that direction if that's ultimately the way they choose to go. One thing that was great for us is dev ready. We didn't have to worry about setting up environments. We didn't have to worry about any of that infrastructure architecture. Because at the end of the day, that's not us. We're not in the hosting game. It's too much risk and too little revenue for us to bring on. So having a platform like this is music to our ears and why we love it so much, that we're not bogged down with that, and we can really devote resources and budget to things that matter to our clients. I would say if we had to do this, we probably wouldn't have hit the 30-day timeline. So having something that we could spin up really quick was just great. And that's why we really, when I sell Umbraco Cloud, there's no other reason to really recommend another product that we offer. The cost, the starter kit code that we have to really spin up foundational sites, scale them from there. It's a no-brainer for us and very cost effective. The last one is significant cost savings. So they were hosting on-prem with their current agency. So they were paying their current agency overtime during these events to make sure they can scale the environment to really fit the traffic that was coming there. So they not only were relying on an agency to have someone there 24/7 to manage the environment during the events, they were paying double for what really they were getting. So going Umbraco Cloud, having that in place, relieving that burden on someone like a BlueModus was really great. And Umbraco Cloud comes with things like deploy forms, which is great because they were also looking at a self-hosted Azure environment, that those would cost extra. And a lot of times deploy, to set that up, it would be close to $10,000 extra. And yes, there's cheaper alternatives like USync, but we prefer deploy. But also, too, cost savings of not having that foundational CMS license. A lot of the other content management systems we support, they can have licenses up starting at 20K upwards to 100K, depending on what your needs are. And I'd say 90% of the people that use those other platforms that we support don't need all the functionality. So they're overpaying for what they actually need a content management system for. So the flexibility of Umbraco Cloud and Umbraco to have the key features that they need, that they can use, but knowing they can really develop it into a true DXP with things like Umbraco workflows, the newsletter add-on, things like U-Marketing Suite where they can dabble into some personalization. That's a long-term priority of theirs. So the ability to have the flexibility to do that, but pay for it when they need it, was great for them. And I did some calculations yesterday. Even if you add on all these add-ons, it's still cheaper per year than a lot of the other content management system licenses, the annual subscription models. So that was a huge plus for us as well and them. So some successes that we've seen, and it's all because of using Umbraco Cloud, is really the freedom to use the platform the way they want to use it for. The freedom to go in and manage speakers, the freedom to go in to manage agendas, the freedom to go in to create events, and not be handcuffed to a system or a platform or a partner where they're not empowered to do what they need to do and achieve what they need to achieve from a digital perspective. So Umbraco made us look good. I mean, honestly, we did do a lot. We did have a process in place that married really well with Umbraco Cloud, but Umbraco Cloud deserves the credit, not BlueModus, because it's a platform that really fit what this association was trying to achieve as an all-in-one content management system. So hats off to Umbraco, and that's why when I do push Umbraco, I reference engagements like this and other engagements at a larger scale with more customization as well. It also gave the client peace of mind. So during events, they were always worried about, okay, we're gonna have increased traffic. So the ability to have an environment that can really handle that was key. Having an environment that has professional support 24/7 was really big for us as well. Because again, we're not structured to do things like that, and we don't pay people to stay up to field calls. So knowing that Umbraco has our back in certain situations like that is definitely reassuring and a selling point to a lot of our clients. So just that peace of mind. The automated updates too is big. A lot of the content management systems we work with, and a lot of you probably know, they're very license subscription based, but every year if you're on a license, a one-time licensing fee, you have to renew a maintenance agreement every year. So it's typically 30% of the license. Subscriptions are kind of getting away with that and having that covered, but most people are still on one-time purchases and the maintenance renewal. So, and 75% of the people don't have those maintenance agreements up to date. It's amazing. And then when they come to us needing an upgrade, they pay more money playing catch up than they do actually utilizing us for an upgrade. So knowing that those are at the ready, those are available for our clients, are automatically pushed is key. Now that doesn't remove us from the equation. There are sites that have a lot of custom code that even with upgrades, we have to go in and really apply changes to the code to be on a new version. But that goes back to Umbraco, their community, their level of engagement with their partners, truly align us with their roadmap so we know what to expect, so we could stay ahead of those things and plan strategically with our clients, which is key for us because we are a very strategy-based agency that not only focuses on short-term priorities, but long-term priorities as well. And that goes to Umbraco's great service. So let's see. Sorry, I kind of skipped through all these. Okay, so and then the growth of FFA was amazing as well. And the specific two things that really were lifesavers for them was the auto scaling and the content delivery network. Again, with peaks in traffic, the growth of their association, they needed a platform that could not only scale, but scale back too, and not require someone to constantly be at the ready to change stuff on their servers and pay extra money. So that was really key. And we do a lot of work with associations that are very event-driven, and cloud is a no-brainer for me to push because the ability to scale and scale back, a lot of multi-tenant sites as well, so the ability to not have to pay for licenses and have that at the ready too is really key for a lot of our clients. But in FFA's specific situation, it was the auto scaling ability of the platform that was really key in achieving what they needed out of the cloud solution. I think I went through that really quick. I can talk more. How much time do I have? All right. Any questions? Any specifics about BlueModus or this engagement or why we love Umbraco Cloud? I'd be happy to answer anything in the final three minutes. This one specifically is shared. It's getting to the point though that we're gonna have to move off of shared. I think you were in a talk yesterday. I mean, the only issues that we typically have in cloud is not cloud itself, it's people's traffic kind of outgrowing shared environments and they need more dedicated environments. And I think that is a good thing because how Umbraco is set up, cloud set up, it's enabling them to grow and scale, and they're getting to the point they need more, which is always good.
So this is your first. Do you have other clients now that are jumping ship and heading towards the Umbraco waters?
Yes. Yes. So, but normally, and I talked about this in my other talks, one of a perception of reality is just the limited knowledge out there. But I think Umbraco's doing an excellent job investing in the US market. So more and more people are coming to us knowing Umbraco already. But a lot of our engagements in Umbraco are, okay, you're coming to us interested in X content management system. These are your needs. This is where you want to go. Let's look at your options. And we're presenting other options along with the CMS they're interested in. And most people, if I go that route, are wanting Umbraco because it checks all the boxes. There's a lot of clients that are spending $100,000 on a license for one of the platforms that was listed that they're not using a fourth of the functionality, and they're jumping ship and going to Umbraco. That's it. Again, I'm open. You can reach out to me, LinkedIn. I have a booth with, you can come by, talk to me, business card. Happy to schedule time. I love talking to people. Love talking about your agency, how you work, and hopefully we can all work together and really provide great services around Umbraco Cloud. So.